Hello, football fans. Well, that time has come. 12 weeks are done, and now it's time for the final one third of the NFL season. I love the home stretch. While I am a diehard hockey fan at heart, I will say the NFL has like the best home stretch because it all happens at once. It usually always all happens at once, with the exception of scenarios needing to involve Thursday games, some Saturday games, and of course the Monday game. But on the final week, for the most part, it definitely does all happen all at once. Of course, the schedule has kind of changed now. Of course, it's an 18-week season now. It's been that way. This is the third season of that, and now week 18 has two Saturday games and the rest play on Sunday. Basically, the two Saturday games is because that used to be the wild card day. It used to be wild card weekend. Now it's a week later. But yeah, I do love the home stretch. It is so much fun. I love that it's divided evenly. Now you have the first 6 weeks kind of set the tone. The middle 6 weeks, week 7 through 12, kind of really let you see who the contenders and pretenders are. And of course, the final six fit out the numbers. 14 teams will be in the playoffs. 18 will not. That's been the format since 2020. I mean, that's been the format since 2020. This is year 4 of that. So, yeah, it's going to be an amazing home stretch. I'm very excited for it. And, of course, for the next 6 weeks, I will give you a look into the playoff picture and tell you where teams stand in each conference. And of course, as usual, I will go in order from I'll obviously go in order by standings, and I always start with the AFC first, which I will do right now. In the American Football Conference, we have the Baltimore Ravens at number 1 entering the home stretch. Now, interesting thing. Remember, 2 years ago, the Ravens were number 1 in the conference entering this exact moment. We all know how that ended. That ended with them losing out and actually missing the playoffs. Now, I don't think we should see that happen again. But yeah, the Ravens are 9-3. They stand alone because it was a 4-way tie, but the Ravens broke it when they won on Sunday Night Football. So the Ravens are 9-3. The other division winners are 8-3. The Chiefs hold a number 2 seed because they have head-to-head over the other 2 division leaders, the Jaguars and the Dolphins. The Jags are number 3 because of strength of victory, which is one of those deep tiebreakers. I think it's like the 6th or 7th. I don't know, but it's pretty deep in there. And so the Dolphins are 4th. As for the wild cards, the Steelers and the Browns are both 7-4, and the Steelers have the better division record. That's why they're 5, and Cleveland 6, and we have a 3-way tie for number 7, that last spot. Interestingly, all 3 teams tied. They were not in the playoffs last year, and it's the Colts who hold that number 7 spot. They have the best conference record of all of the 3 teams, and they have head-to-head over Houston at the moment. I think it's at the moment, but yeah. It's a pretty interesting race. Also, I said Houston, Denver are part of this logjam. They play each other this week, so that's gonna be interesting. The Bills are 6-6, and they're 10th. The Bengals are right behind them, and the Raiders have an outside shot. Pretty much everybody in the AFC is alive except pretty much for New England. New England's not officially eliminated, but they may as well be. In the NFC, surprise, surprise, it's the Eagles atop the conference at 10-1. And as far as below them, you have the Niners and the Lions, both with 8-3 records, but the Niners' 6-1 conference record makes them number 2 and the Lions number 3. And number 4, it's the Falcons at 5-6. Yeah, for the second straight year, it looks like for the second straight year, the NFC South champion, whoever it is going to be locked in at number 4 because the division is a mess again. As for the wild cards, it's the Cowboys with 8-3 at number 5, but right below that, that's where things get pretty interesting. Seahawks are 6-5, hold the number 6 spot. The last spot, number 7, that's the Minnesota Vikings, who are 6-6 heading to their bye. Below them is 3 teams at 5-6. The Rams, the Saints, and the Packers. And even better, guess who has the tiebreaker over all 3? That's right. Yeah, it's head-to-head. It's head-to-head. The Packers beat both the Rams and the Saints this year, which makes us the number 8 team right behind that playoff line. And the Rams are number 9 due to a better conference record. They're 4-4. The Saints are 2-4 in conference play. But and of course Tampa Bay's 4-7. They kind of have a shot at the wild card, but they have a better shot at the division because 5-6 leads that division. Basically, in the conference, the only 2 teams who are really like screwed are the Cardinals and the Panthers, both of who have 10 losses, and I think, according to what I've read, they could be eliminated this upcoming week, officially eliminated. But yeah, so it's a pretty interesting start to this. It's a pretty interesting start to this home stretch. So that's what the standings look like. Now, already one team can clinch a playoff spot this week, week 13. And they are as follows. The Philadelphia Eagles already can clinch a spot in the playoffs. They're the only team that can. And I kind of figured this because when I watched them win and go to 10-1, I looked at the conference. I thought they could probably get in next week because they're 10-1. They're 10-1 in the conference where a lot of teams have at least 5 losses. Yeah, it's just them. It's them, the Cowboys, the Lions, and the Niners are the only ones with 5 losses, fewer than 5 losses. So I kind of figured Philly could clinch, and there it was. There it was when I went to NFL Playoff Scenarios. That's my go-to site now to get all the information. So yeah, the Eagles can get in. Eagles can get in this week. Now, there's 4 ways they can get in: a win, and a Rams loss or tie will do it. The Eagles do not have an easy opponent this week. They host the 49ers in a rematch of last year's NFC Championship. Because, like I said, a win and a Rams loss or tie, the Rams are at home against the Browns. So now, honestly, to me, the Browns are worse than their record says. They should not have 7 wins yet. Here we are. But yeah, the Rams host the Browns. That's in the late window on Sunday. The scenario 2 is a win, or we lose or tie, and Detroit loses. The Packers are at home against the Chiefs. That's our only really tough game in this remaining schedule. So, but I think we can win it though, because this team is much better than earlier in the season. But yeah, and as for Detroit, they're in New Orleans. They're in New Orleans this Sunday. Of course, the Packers are on Sunday football. Detroit plays in the Sunday night window, in the early window on Sunday. There are 2 scenarios that are involved in a tie, a Packers loss or tie, a Rams loss, and a loss or tie from either New Orleans or Atlanta. I said New Orleans is hosting the Lions. Atlanta is facing who are they facing? Oh yeah, Atlanta's facing the Jets, so that's out. So will the Eagles actually clinch this week? They might. I mean, they should win. They should win over the Niners, but I can't see the Rams losing. I can't see the Rams losing to Cleveland. We're not losing to Kansas City. I think we are going to beat Mahomes and shock people. And Saints and Lions, I don't know. Saints might beat them because the Lions are kind of iffy the last few weeks. But who knows? Maybe Pittsburgh gets that spot after all early. So that's the one scenario clinched, and that's my report regarding the playoff picture with the home stretch kicking off. It's going to be a fun final 6 weeks. If you like this video, click like. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe. If you want more, click. If you're on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button.